The Grand Council of the Galactic Federation sat in stunned silence, their various appendages and sensory organs fixed on the holographic display before them. The Arcturus Gate, humanity's first contribution to galactic infrastructure, was malfunctioning in ways that defied their most advanced diagnostic systems. High Commander Zixtal, their most celebrated engineer, had spent 3 cycles attempting to understand the quantum fluctuations that threatened to tear apart the very fabric of spacetime. The gate's unique human-designed safety protocols had prevented catastrophic failure, but no one understood how they worked well enough to fix them. "Perhaps," whispered Council Member Ravan, her crystalline form shimmering with anxiety, "we should contact the humans." The suggestion sent ripples of unease through the chamber. Humans were known throughout the galaxy as brilliant but unpredictable problem solvers. Their solutions often seemed to defy logic itself, mixing intuition with what they called common sense, a concept that still baffled the galaxy's finest minds. After much deliberation, they sent the call. Sarah Chen, a maintenance engineer from the Lunar Gate Authority, arrived 12 hours later. She was shorter than most species expected humans to be, with graying hair tied back in a practical bun and coffee stains on her jumpsuit. The council watched in fascination as she pulled out an ancient tablet computer and began humming what she called 80s rock classics under her breath. "So," she said, studying the readouts with narrowed eyes, "you've tried recalibrating the quantum matrix?" 17 times, High Commander Zixtal replied, all 6 of their eyes blinking in sequence. "We've applied every known protocol in the Federation database." Sarah nodded, continuing to scroll through data while tapping her foot to an invisible rhythm. "And the emergency protocols kicked in exactly as designed." "Good. That's what they're supposed to do." She paused, then smiled. "Oh, I see the problem." The council leaned forward as one. "It's actually pretty simple," Sarah continued, pulling a small tool from her pocket that several council members recognized with horror as a manual override key. "The gate's got hiccups." "Hiccups?" The word rippled through the universal translators, coming back with 12 different interpretations, none of which made sense. "Yeah. You know when something gets stuck in a loop and just needs a good kick to reset itself." She approached the gate's main control panel, humming louder now. "It's like when your old car won't start on a cold morning, so you give it a little tap in just the right spot." High Commander Zixtal's appendages writhed in alarm, but the quantum harmonics are perfectly fine, Sarah interrupted, already keying in a sequence. "The gate's just being stubborn. Sometimes technology gets like that, especially the really smart stuff. You've got to show it who's boss." Before anyone could stop her, she inserted the manual override key and turned it while simultaneously entering a command sequence that violated at least 7 fundamental laws of quantum mechanics, or so the council thought. The gate's warning lights flickered, dimmed, and then returned to a steady, healthy green. Sarah stepped back, pocketing her key with satisfaction. There we go. All it needed was a reset and a bit of encouragement. I also tweaked the calibration settings. They were a little too perfect, if you know what I mean. Sometimes you need to leave a bit of wiggle room for the quantum field to do its thing. The council stared at her, then at the gate, then back at her. The holographic displays showed all systems functioning at optimal levels, better than optimal, actually. But how? High Commander Zixtal finally managed to ask. "The mathematical models." "Oh, those are all right in theory," Sarah said, already packing up her tablet. "But real-world tech doesn't always read the manual, if you get my drift. Sometimes you've got to trust your gut and remember that even the most advanced technology can be a bit like a stubborn toddler. It just needs a firm hand and a little understanding." She paused at the chamber door. "Oh, and you might want to run a level 2 diagnostic every now and then, just to keep it honest. Gates can get ideas if you let them think too much." With a wink, she was gone, leaving behind only the faint sound of her humming and the smell of coffee. The council sat in silence for a long moment, contemplating what they had witnessed. Finally, Council Member Ravan spoke. "Should we document this solution?" High Commander Zixtal's appendages twitched. "How?" The human violated 3 laws of physics, ignored 5 safety protocols, and treated a quantum gate like a machine that just needed to be reminded who's boss, another council member finished. They all stared at the gate, which was now operating more efficiently than ever before. In the following weeks, they would analyze every second of Sarah's intervention, trying to understand exactly what she had done. They would fail. The equations didn't add up, the logic was unsound, and yet it worked. In the end, they added a new protocol to the Federation's engineering handbook: when all else fails, call a human. It wasn't the most elegant solution, but like many human innovations, it worked, and sometimes that was all that mattered.